Hey guys, Andy back from Mediocre Hobbies, bringing you something for Middle-earth Mondays. That is the first time you will hear me say this, but I'm coining the phrase now as part of my channel, Middle-earth Mondays. I'm going to try and promise you guys more Middle-earth content. I've been getting a lot of requests online for more Middle-earth content. I actually just spent the entire weekend over at Warhammer World, and I got lost in the Hall of Miniatures staring at all the beautiful Middle-earth content as I always do. And remembered that at the start of this year I wanted to make it more of a mainstay part of the channel. I did a couple of videos and then let it fall away to the wayside, and I'm here to tell you that I'm not going to let that happen. So I am back today giving you the rest of the Osgiliath box set is what I'm going to try and work towards across the next couple of Mondays. So today it's going to be the standard Mordor Orc, a very simple piece, not the best sculpts in the world, they're quite old and they're very simply done, but I'm going to hopefully show you guys how to get some paint on them, make them look nice and get them on the tabletop. Next Monday, I hope to bring you something a little more exciting. That is, of course, Gothmog, the hero of the box set. Week after that, the Troll. And with that, that should be every single part of the Osgiliath kit painted up. And then we'll just start working our way through more Middle-earth content. So I hope you guys are excited to see that. If you are, make sure you give the video a like. Likes push videos out to more people, make more people see them, and basically show me that more people are interested in them and help me make more videos. Before I get into the video, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my active patrons. Without you guys, we'll be able to keep the lights on and the cameras rolling. If you're out there and interested in joining my Patreon, there are links below, a bunch of benefits, including a private Discord server and an extra video every single week. So you get an extra 52 videos a year for being a member of the Patreon. Without further ado, let's delve into Middle-earth. The standard Mordor Orc. As a person who worked in Games Workshop for 15 years, I can say that I've painted hundreds of these things for displays and different box sets over the years. So I'm going to show you the very quick and easy way that we do it in the shop, or did do it in the shop. So the model got sprayed black and that's it. After that, we gave the entire model a heavy overbrush, dry brush of lead belcher, dark silver. I mean, the most amount of material on these orcs is actually the armor. They have a lot of cobbled together, bashed and beaten down armor. So getting a quick coat of silver on them, very quick, is very easy. Word Bearer's red is then used for all of the cloth on the miniature. So if you look, he's got his sleeves exposed underneath his panel armor, and then as he's kind of behind his trousers, and a few other bits and pieces. I once again went to the Games Workshop website, looked at the models for the Mordor Orc they had there, just to pick out all those little spots of color, so I knew I was doing it in the right sections. This is the easiest way I find to make sure you're getting the paints in the right place as you go. Once you have the red all done, it was time to work in some of the darker colors on the model. So we're going to start with Rhinox hide to begin with, and that's for all of the buckles and belts, that straps, everything that holds his armor onto his body. Plus the front part of his boots are basically armored shin guards and armored feet, but the back parts, I believe, are like leather boots. So we're going to quickly go and give the back of his legs a coat of the brown as well. There is like 2 or 3 straps basically holding on each panel. Now these are some of the oldest and kind of most rushed job sculpts Games Workshop's ever done. Those 24 miniature boxes of Lord of the Rings miniatures are not very well sculpted. They're all usually one-piece miniatures, which makes them a breeze to buy and paint because usually quite cheap. But obviously it loses it in quite a lot of detail. So sometimes you just have to paint in the detail where you think it goes and continue from there. We did some WA flesh on all of his skin that was on show. And from there, that's all the base coats applied to the miniature. So we're just going to jump over to Agrak's Earthshade and shade down the entire miniature. So right now the model looks absolutely atrocious. It's a blob of silver with some green and red and brown on it. Let's see if we can make it look any nicer with a nice shade. And then spend a little bit of time layering up, but not a lot of time. Like I said at the beginning, you're going to have 20, 30, 40 of these guys on the table. They are not the most exciting things in the world to paint. You want to save your time and your effort and your enjoyment of painting for things like Gothmog and Trolls and Fell Beasts and all the nice characters. So these guys just need to be bashed out, kind of factory style. So after the model was finished drying, it got a quick coat of texture paste on the base. And it's now time to do a little bit of layering. As it stands here, I think they look absolutely fantastic, but we can spend a little bit of more time and just make them pop. So we're going to do dabs of lead belcher across the armor panels. We are not looking to layer it like we would something else, like really carefully. Like I said, this is beaten armor. The people that make this armor are not so much blacksmiths. It's all rough edges and kind of deformed shapes and angles. So it is okay just to do a very quick coat of silver and all the kind of higher points, any bits that are really sharp angles that are going to get scratched as he's marching along out of Mordor and into Gondor. As you can see, we're going to leave a lot of that darkness behind in the armor. After that, we're going to jump up to Corn Red, and I like the deliberate use of the word bears red and then the highlight as Corn Red. Usually we start with Corn Red and then we build it up to brighter and brighter colors, but this is, like I said, cloth from Mordor. It's not going to be rich, voluptuous silk or anything like that. It's going to be quite worn and dark and grungy. So I think having Corn Red, which is quite dark, be the final highlight, I think works a treat. Some orcs have more cloth on show, more have less, but I think the uniform look of a little bit of silver and red does help the army look like an army. After that, we're going to jump over to Elysian Green and layer up his face. Now, the orcs in the film have about 20 different skin tones. There's some deep reds and purples and sour whites and all sorts. You can choose to do that if you like. Like I said, prefer the regimental look. So for instance, a squad of orcs, if I was doing 20 of these guys, 24 of these guys out of a box set, they would all get the same skin tone just so I can paint them really fast. I might spend a little bit more time on characters, look for how they looked in the movies and try and blend them in a little bit better. Basic infantry, I just don't care. Mornfang Brown was then used to highlight all of the little straps we did with the Rannoch's hide at the beginning. Very quick touch-up highlights. And that's literally going to be the last step I do on this basic infantry for my Mordor. Like I said, we got 20 of these guys or so to paint from the box set. And I would love to sit down and get them all done in one evening. Here's how he looks next to the Gondor soldier I did for a previous video. So you can see they match in kind of yin and yang style. One is bright and vibrant and noble, and one is dark and grungy and war-torn. So facing off against each other on a tabletop with these two paint schemes, I think will work an absolute treat. I want to get a little Osgiliath board going in the next couple of weeks. I hope to bring you guys a battle report and show you what Lord of the Rings is all about, as it is and always will be one of my absolute favorite game systems to ever play. I hope you guys enjoyed my trip into Middle-earth. And there we have it, one Mordor orc ready to storm the gates of Minas Tirith or storm through the ruins of Osgiliath. You know that when you play a Mordor army, you have a lot of these orcs, so simple techniques like the one I show you is going to help you get your 20, 30, 40, 50 orcs painted up and ready to play as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video, like I said at the start, make sure you give it a like. If you're interested in more Middle-earth content, then make sure you subscribe for all of that. Hit the bell button to get notified for all future uploads. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. It does mean the world to me. I'll see you in the next one.